Okay, welcome everyone, and we're live. Not sure how many people will be hooking into this live stream. I did put it up at the last minute, but if you are watching, feel free to leave a comment in the chat box below. Today, we're going to go through some job availabilities in Australia for doctors. From time to time, I like to do sort of a roundup of job opportunities that are available for various types of doctors, whether it be trainee doctors that are already in Australia or um, international graduates coming through, say, the standard pathway or the competent authority pathway, or even specialist IMGs, or in fact, consultant jobs as well. So we've got a bunch of jobs to have a look at. And some important announcements in terms of some of the second round availabilities. But um, before we get into that, let's play the intro. So hello everyone, I'm Dr. Anthony Llewellyn. I am the career doctor here on YouTube and Facebook, and we're going out to Twitch as well today, just trying that out. I'm here to help you manage your career. If you've got a comment that you'd like to make or a question or you just like the video, leave a comment or a like in the description box below. I'd love to hear your feedback and know how I can help you furthering your career. So today we're going to have a look at some jobs that are available here in Australia. I'm going to start off by looking at some of the second round offer opportunities around the various states and territories, focusing a little bit about when jobs might be coming up, um, looking at jobs for plain old training doctor jobs, as well as jobs for international medical graduates. And then towards the end of the interview, I'm just going to focus on some other kind of different types of jobs that you might not have considered. Some interesting jobs, some interesting opportunities. If, for example, you're thinking of working, say, overseas at some point. So we'll get into it. So again, if you've got a comment or a question, leave it in the description boxes below on whatever platform you're on. I'm trying my new chat app that goes with this setup I've got. So I'm using Ecamm as well as Restream and getting a little bit better at it. And so you can leave me a chat on any platform below and I will be able to hopefully see it. In fact, if you're watching and you're hearing it clear, maybe just leave like a plus or a yes in the chat box below. That'd be really handy for me as well. So let's get into it, and I've just got to find the correct button. Yep, there we are. Um, so, so most important news. So, as I've done in a previous video, New South Wales is already into its second round offers, but if you're in Victoria or interested in working in Victoria, whether you just be house officer or an IMG or anyone who's sort of interested in a job next year as a trainee doctor job in Victoria, you'd probably be following this website, which is the Postgraduate Medical Council of Victoria computer matching site. So a lot of the trainee doctor jobs are run through this site. To have to register on this early in the year and then wait for the process to unfold. It's kind of it's a matching process. So you put all your details in here. You still have to go and interview with the various sites, but then there's a process where once all the selection is done, you've put in your preferences and the hospitals and networks put their preferences in, and then you get made offers. That's how I understand it works. So a lot of trainee doctors head to this site to get some information about what jobs are offer. Now, the reason I'm pointing this out to you is if you see here on the update, this is today, um, there's an announcement here. So hospital medical officer jobs, which are the equivalent of a resident medical officer job in New South Wales, but that's kind of a PGY2 postgraduate year 2 position, as well as basic physician trainer year 1 and 2 match jobs. There's apparently a bunch I've heard of unmatched positions or jobs that haven't been filled, and they're going to be advertised on this website. And that reminds me, I've got links to all these websites that I'm going to show you in the descriptions below so you can find them easily. So tomorrow, being Friday the 4th of October, at 2 o'clock, those positions apparently will be made available on the website. But you'll see here, registration with computer match is not required. And this is important because often if you're an international medical graduate and you're not got general registration, you'll find if you go and try and register with the computer match system, you won't be allowed to because in most cases, as I understand it, you need to have your general registration already. Um, so they're going to list the jobs that are available, the spare jobs. Then it says here you have to please apply directly with the health service, with the particular health service in terms of the vacancies that are available. Um, and there are a few other kind of opportunities here that look like they haven't been matched as well. So in radiation therapy and nuclear medicine. Um, so you'll find out about them tomorrow, and then you'll head off to. Well, there's a few ways of finding jobs in Victoria, but most of them now get aggregated to this site, which is the Health Victoria jobs listing site, and you'll notice there's a couple of positions listed here already, but I suspect tomorrow, I'm only showing one of 10 of 13 results. Tomorrow there'll be a bunch more advertised, and that's the way you can find out about them. You'll see here, for example, we've currently got a medical registrar BPT listed for 2020. Presumably that's actually one that's come up early here. Let's have a quick look at squiz at that one and see what the requirements for that job are. This is in Ballarat, which is sort of north of Melbourne. Um, uh, Accredited as a level 2 training centre. Ballarat provides care to the Greater Grampians region, covering 20% of Victoria. Hospital's 221 bed acute facility with a cath lab and ICU. There are advanced trainees in various parts of medicine. Um, doesn't say what the requirements are, but you'll see there's a link to a position description, so we'll have a look at that as well. And here we go. So let's just so yes, so you'll need to have general registration with the Medical Board of Australia for that particular one, and uh, they want you to be enrolled in an RACP, Royal Australasian College of Physician Basic Physician Training. So that's that job. But as I said, I expect if we go to this site tomorrow after 2 o'clock, there'll be a bunch of more jobs up there, as well as those jobs being listed here on the PMCB computer match site. So again, if you've got any questions about that, I'd love to hear from you. Leave me a comment in the box below. I've got 7 people watching at least, so if someone can just do a plus in that chat box, that'll let me know that you're hearing me and that the chat's working. Okay, so then let's move on to Queensland, and then we'll finish off with New South Wales. So this page is the sort of equivalent page in Queensland to the one, I guess, for the PMCV in Victoria, and also the New South Wales JMO Junior Medical Officer recruitment page as well. So it lists a bunch of information about the current, what they call resident medical officer campaign. And there's a lot of interplay of language here, you'll notice in Australia. A resident medical officer campaign you'd think is just for resident medical officers, but in the case of Queensland, that means resident medical officers as well as specialty trainee roles and more senior jobs as well. You'll see some of them listed here. So trainees, registrars, principal house officers. So that's their RMO campaign. It can be quite confusing to understand all this stuff. But there's a bunch of information to go through here on this page. But if we scroll down to the very bottom here, you see that they're still doing a whole lot of recruitment rounds. But it appears that towards the end of October, there'll be a kind of a final round where candidates have not yet obtained a position are able to amend preferences to the remaining vacancies. I think you already have to be in the system for this. And again, often with these systems, they lock out IMG doctors. So if you're an IMG doctor, you may not have been able to get in to apply to this campaign. I don't think you can. I don't think you can ask to enter it at this point. But after that in October, from the 4th of November, there's going to be an open round. And possibly you might be able to apply for jobs that are remaining there. Now, last week I think it was, we went to the New South Wales Health site and I showed you what jobs are on offer there. There were several hundred job offers positions open for the second round. Quickly just showing you this again. And we might have a look at a couple of interesting positions here. So if we just browse all the vacancies, we can see 268. So I think it's gone up by a few more as well again. Um, and we'll just check firstly how many resident medical officer jobs are now listed. So let me find that. 8 now. So that's, I think we had 4 the last time I checked. So again, few IMGs particularly coming through the standard pathway or even competent authority, there might be some opportunities for you here. Okay, there's one at the forensic hospital that I hadn't seen before. One in Nepean that looks new. Griffith, I think, was there before. Coffs Harbour. Lismore is the one that will take someone who is on competent authority or standard pathway because they've got the eligible for registration thing there. Let's look at another one then that's new. Let's have a look at this one at the forensic hospital. So in New South Wales, there's a separate network for justice, health and forensic mental health. They do have connections with the more mainstream health services, but this is obviously running medical and mental health services within the prison system in New South Wales. And so often, well, the RMO works here under a forensic psychiatrist. Again, let's just look down here. Okay, well, this one you do have to be registered with the Medical Board of Australia. Well, that's an interesting job. Someone who's looking to do something a bit different. You only have to have 1 year of postgraduate experience. So if you're kind of particularly thinking of maybe going down a psychiatry route or particularly a forensic psychiatry route, in your second year, that could be quite an interesting job for someone who kind of found their intern experience was okay, but possibly not really keen on what's available for them next year within their hospital and network. Let's just look at one more. If people have any particular jobs here, by the way, that you want me to go and look at, please just stick a message in the chat box. We looked at the Wollongong. Maybe we haven't looked at Wollongong. That might be interesting. So Wollongong, south of Sydney. Just scroll down the bottom to look at the selection criteria again, as we always do. Oh, no. So that's just a standard resident medical officer job. So it looks like the Lismore one's the only one still that will accept an IMG. We'll just check out Nepean. Yep, here's one. So, okay, so Nepean, Western Sydney, medical degree or equivalent, currently registered or eligible for registration with the Medical Board of Australia. So that would accept an application from a doctor who's got their AMC Part 1 or their AMC Part 1 and Part 2 or from a competent authority country. So reminder, that's the United Kingdom, the Republic of Ireland, Canada and the United States. And there are some extra requirements. You can't just to come from there, you obviously have to go on through the system there. No other sort of clangers by the looks of it. Ability to work independently, evidence of successful completion of intern terms or equivalent in medicine. Looks like you can demonstrate that from wherever you came from. Focus on teamwork, time management, communication skills. Yep. So that would definitely be one for, if you're from India with your AMC Part 1 or you're thinking of coming from the United Kingdom to work in Australia for a while, then that would be a good job for you to be looking at. That was Nepean. We might as well go. I'll just check out. I'm pretty sure I looked at Coffs Harbour before, but that's on the north coast of New South Wales. yes, you have to be registered for that one. Um, and the other, I think Griffith is new, so that's rural New South Wales, down near the close to the Victorian border. No, I have to have general registration. So anyway, there's now Lismore and the position in the PN for IMGs. Now, as I've mentioned before, some of the other jobs to look at if you're coming from another country, we might just go back to the main bit. Some of the other jobs to look at are ones that are in unaccredited trainee and senior resident medical officer. Um, so, for example, often you'll see some of these jobs in emergency medicine, anything in the sort of critical care scope. So that's for Australia, it's emergency medicine, intensive care, anaesthetics, although anaesthetics is quite desired, so often you don't see additional jobs come up in anaesthetics. They often will accept an international graduate, as well any jobs that have got psychiatry and sometimes general medicine. I'm pretty sure this one will hit the spot. Again, this is in the pen where we were looking before. Um, yeah, eligible for registration. So you will need 2 years experience, or they have to have appropriate experience in Australian Medicine Department or equivalent setting or discipline in the last few years. So that may well suit someone who's again worked in a competent authority country in a sort of emergency setting. Although, again, you could make the case if you've been working in emergency care in another country and under equivalent standards. So they're all worth looking at. We might, because I also have, other trainees watching this channel and getting some advice about applying for jobs. And I know that, some people have missed out on the first round on some of the Plan A positions. I thought I'd just highlight that there are a lot of opportunities if you're already generally registered um, and looking for sort of unaccredited trainee roles or even advanced trainee kind of roles. Let's just look at what advanced training positions are available. And these ones are often good to look at if you're a specialist looking at doing 1 or 2 years stint here in Australia. But you'll see the 71 all around New South Wales. So a lot of positions unfilled in a range of specialty areas: rehab, infectious diseases, general medicine, emergency medicine, pediatrics. So that one would probably be a good one for a pediatrician um, from another country who may be going through a specialist assessment or just wanting to do a short stint here. Again, we can look at what yep, eligible for registration. So again, and already assessed as substantially or partially comparable. So this is the route that specialists often go through to upgrade and get their specialist registration here in Australia. But a bunch of positions, whether you're a general trainee or looking from overseas, psychiatry, geriatric medicine, ophthalmology. Interesting. I had someone contact me recently who is from overseas as an ophthalmologist and asking about opportunities. This is at Lismore. Let's just see what that one says. No, I have to have general registration. Okay. Um, Let me know if you spot anything you want me to look at or dig deeper into. Uh, okay, so 268, I think, positions in total are still available in New South Wales. So opportunities if you've not been successful so far this year. Now I mentioned, I also wanted to sort of talk about some other sort of interesting paths in medicine that you can take. And some of you may be aware of a community in Australia of doctors who are kind of an eclectic group that have forged different sort of paths in medicine, and I'm being one of them. So I highly recommend if you're sort of interested in exploring alternative routes in terms of a career in medicine, the Creative Careers in Medicine uh, group. This is their website. They run conferences. There's one recently been held in the Gold Coast, and I think another one coming up in sort of a spin-off conference in Townsville shortly. The conferences are well attended, and people talk from a range of sort of different perspectives. You know, people into tech, people into consulting, people into doing all sorts of other different things in medicine. Uh, but they do have a Facebook group, and in that group, if you join it, there's a link to that group in the description below. Often people are posting interesting opportunities that you might kind of be interested in if you're looking for kind of a different career in medicine. So, for example, here's one that was posted the other day about a startup. I don't actually probably not so much of a startup anymore. I think CCDIA have been around for a little while now, but this is again, it's kind of a health technology company looking to solve a challenge around improving the way we document in healthcare and get um, good information and outcomes for patients out of clinical documentation. So you can see there's a link to their website. But if you're interested in working in the field of documentation in health, they're interested in finding out some doctors that are interested in applying, and I think you can go here and there's a little contact pop up here where you can leave your information and have a chat to them about what the sort of things they're looking for. So if you're into documentation in medicine, if that's kind of your passion, then that might be interesting for you. And then finally, if you've thought about working in another country, maybe you're already working here in Australia, you've got your specialty qualifications. A lot of doctors head over to, say, the UK or the Middle East traditionally. In some cases, you can make a reasonable amount of money from doing a stint in certain overseas countries. Um, then I've got some any sort of exciting thing that popped up again on my radar the other day. But before that, we've just got a couple of comments there. Hi, Mukund. Nice to have you on the chat today, and hello, Valeria. So now, there's some way of me promoting these, but I'll have to look up the thing again. So Valeria, before I finish 1 year or within 6 or 7 months of working in the UK, can I apply for jobs to apply through the Competent Authority pathway? So that's a good question. How do I bring that up to the top? There is a way. Um, hmm. I can answer your question. So, don't want to block you though. Oh, is it not letting me reply? No. Oh, I think because it's on Facebook. So, can you just tell me, Valeria? So you're in your first year working in the UK. Are you a graduate from a medical school in the UK, or are you going through the PLAB process? Um, I mean, in short answer to your question, you probably can start applying. Probably 6 or 7 months out of that first year is probably a little bit um, uh, far out to be applying, but you might get some interest. Um, you could probably also start registering with some of the recruitment agencies, and um, I can certainly help you with some of those. Are often interested in talking to doctors from competent authority countries who might be sort of looking down along that horizon. So kind of, yeah, the answer is yes, but you might find that they're wanting to close the job a little bit quicker than that. So it's probably worth certainly getting yourself ready, having a good resume, even going through the process of applying. But it might you might find that they'll they'll want you a little bit quicker than you were able to get here. So hopefully that answers that question for you. Um, and I'll have to work out how I can put that one to the top. There's some process, but anyway. So I was mentioning, if you're thinking of heading overseas from Australia, traditionally most doctors will think about the United Kingdom, for example, or perhaps going to the Middle East. But I wonder whether you've thought about going to China. And I was speaking to a group the other day of just, this is like the latest recruitment agency on the block in Australia, and there are many of them. Elective Recruitment, again, is a link to their website below. But they've got about 20 something jobs already posted in the day 2 live. Um, and an interesting set of jobs, so we can have a look at what they've got on offer here. Um, so you'll notice the countries that they've got locations for. They've got locations for Australia, Saudi Arabia, um, New South Wales obviously being a state of Australia, China, Sydney, Queensland, but China. And I'd not thought about China as a destination for working before, but if you're thinking of a stint outside of Australia, want to work something differently, do a bit of travel, get a different experience. Some of the rates they're quoting here for these jobs, like this orthopedic surgeon or emergency medicine specialist, pretty competitive rates, particularly when apparently you factor in the tax in China, which is apparently a lot lower, and some of the other benefits. So let's just have a quick look at the job there. So Emma from Elective Recruitment, that's how you get in contact with her. Up to $450,000 Australian. I can tell you that's pretty competitive if you're an emergency medicine specialist. And it's apparently at a private facility in Shanghai. And they include visa, flights to commence employment, initial accommodation, insurances, annual leave, healthcare, and I don't know what other rewards are on offer. These are some of the requirements I'm looking for, and this is interesting. So apparently in this hospital, it's nice if you can speak. I presume it's Mandarin, but not necessarily so. And apparently they've got interpreters, and if you are fluent in English, then that's okay. So again, if you're thinking of doing something a little bit different in medicine, maybe think about working in China. And if you do contact Elective Recruitment, tell them I sent you. So that is all I really wanted to update you on today. Valeria, I hope I got that right, Valeria. Yeah, maybe if you've got some more information for me about your situation, perhaps contact me by the website, and that's a good reminder for me to show you our website. This is the AdvanceMed website, where you can check out our blog that we post regular blogs about the medical career process, the medical job process, as well as a bunch of services that we have on offer, including interview coaching, career coaching, coaching for international medical graduates specifically, courses on getting yourself prepared in terms of your CV, interview skills, etc. And services to help with CVs and resumes and cover letters, etc. Or even full packages if you're a trainee doctor moving up to consultancy, or maybe an IMG specialist or an IMG trainee working your way through the system here in Australia. You can get some help from us there. And if you're thinking of just finding these videos useful and want to send us a few dollars, you might want to just buy one of the books that I've written about applying for jobs as a doctor and interviewing. Reasonably affordable, and it helps us to keep the website going. So thanks all for watching this live stream, and I hope you learned something. Remember leaving a like and a comment in the description box below. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you can find out when we put out the next videos, and I hope you learned something, and I will see you in the next video. Oh, okay. I had to refresh it. That's what the problem was. All right. See you guys.